What's up guys, today I'll be taking a look at this ARP9 gel ball blaster. Based on the G&G ARP9 from our sister Sport that's sadly banned here, there are currently two competing companies who make these. This model is from the Chinese company XYL, and the other is from HLF. And I'll be having a look at that one too in a separate video. The XYL ARP9, with its tiny size, is designed for close quarter battles, and that's exactly the reason I bought it. I checked a few different resellers, but the only one who had it in stock at the time were M4A1. They also offer an extra mag with it and a coupler to join two of them together, making switching mags during an engagement nice and easy. And you'll be switching mags a lot too because they only hold about 100 shots each. You can also get drum mags for the XYL, but just keep in mind that some fields don't allow drum mags. And also keep in mind the XYL mags do not fit the HLF and vice versa. The blaster itself is made of solid nylon and it feels very high quality and doesn't really have any flex to it. The inner barrel is alloy and it's quite short at only 130mm, with an inner diameter of 7.5. The outer barrel is threaded, 14mm counterclockwise thread, so without any mods you could attach a tracer unit, a fake suppressor, or even a 3D printed hop-up. More on those in a bit. Removing the PDW stock, the cap on the end of the buffer tube has a button you pinch to remove it, and inside you can see where the battery connects using a mini Tamiya plug. You should also be able to see the MOSFET. Having a MOSFET included stock is a nice bonus and it should improve the trigger response time, which is important in CQB. The issue I've been hearing about it though is you can potentially smoke the MOSFET just by upgrading to a 3S LiPo, so I'd recommend staying on 2S like the stock one provided or a Turnigy 50C. Don't make the same mistake as me and get the Turnigy 25C, because that's slightly longer and won't fit with the cap on. Also be careful not to pinch yourself in the metal bars on the stock as you adjust it. It's easy to do so if you're holding it wrong. The XYL ARP9 has 3 fire modes, safe, semi and full auto. As you can see, the trigger is super sensitive, which I think is a good thing when you want to react quickly to an enemy. Semi seems nice and snappy. Full auto, because we're stuck with a 2S battery, is a bit slower than some people would like, but with only 100 shots in your mag, I think a 2S will help me conserve ammo. Pulling the charging handle flips open the dust cover of the ejection port, revealing a metallic blue piece which is the electronic blowback. A lot of people hate EBBs and remove it straight away, but basically when you pull the trigger, it moves back a tiny amount to attempt to emulate blowback. It's a very weak effect though, so I'll probably remove it on mine. I mentioned earlier the outer barrel is threaded. Rotating the muzzle piece clockwise it comes straight off, and today I've got 2 different hop-ups to try, which just thread back on in its place. Both of these are 3D printed. The first one is a DK hop-up, which I just found on eBay. You can search that and you'll get it. The second one was sent to me by a local gel baller called Alex Zamperin, and I'll put a link down below for his Facebook page if you want to get in contact with him. His design differs in that it can also be used with an inner barrel, and it's wide enough that it acts as a barrel stabilizer with your handguard. The current standard Phillips head screw to adjust doesn't look too pretty, but he says he's getting in some grub screws soon to replace it. I'll come back to these two when it comes to the accuracy test. For now, let's test the velocity. As usual, I'm using Alpha King gels. Also forgot to mention the charging handle is also a mag prime if you hold it back. I got a high of 287, low of 270, and an average of 277. That's higher than I expected from something this small. Not bad for a stock blaster. Now let's flick it on full auto and check the rate of fire, still on a 2S battery. That top number says 752 rounds per minute, divided by 60 gives us 12.5 rounds per second, or 8 seconds of full auto fire per mag swap. That concludes the chrony test. Let's set up a human-sized target and take some shots at it from 30 meters away. That was pretty horrible. Gels went seemingly everywhere else but the target. This is a stock blaster without a hop up though, and it's pushing 277 FPS. So now let's try the 3D printed DK hop up.
Let's see how accurate this is.
Still not very accurate, but I'll explain why I think that is at the end of testing. More shots definitely went in the center though, than without the hop up. Now try the hop up sent to me by Alex Zamperin.
Okay, let's try this.
Still not 100% accurate at 30 meters, but the grouping was much narrower horizontally than it was with the DK hop up, and because of this it would make hitting a standing human easier with Alex hop up. The DK had a tighter grouping vertically, but I'd personally prefer to shoot the green grouping than the blue one. I'll put a link to Alex's Facebook page in the description if anyone's interested in this hop up. The thing is though, neither of these two hop ups were actually working properly. Look at how much I had to aim above the target to reach it with both hop-ups. The job of a hop-up is meant to be to reduce the need to arc your shots. I had both hop-ups dialed to their maximum setting and it still wasn't enough, but that's just a flaw of these two hop-ups. Neither of them have a lower lip you can raise up to add more hop, like say a Riser V2 hop-up does. And with the combination of high FPS and hard gels, you do need a lot of hop. So why not just put a Riser V2 on this? Well, the problem there is the ARP9 out of the box has too short of an inner barrel to attach one of those better hop-ups. I really want to get this shooting accurately though, so I've ordered a longer barrel from Bruise Master. It'll stick out to about here, then I'll add a Riser V2 hop-up and a fake suppressor to cover it all. I do think this is a solid blaster. If you don't want to change the barrel out for a longer one though, try one of these screw-on hop-ups, and maybe try some softer gels than the AKAs. Apparently they work better with this kind of hop-up. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching. See ya.